Regardless of what you think of Elon Musk, the North American charging standard is just better. I want to talk about three aspects of this. One is the user experience and ergonomics of the plugs. Two is the cost and materials associated with the charging stations. And three is the implications associated with building out a national charging network and the federal spending being deployed. There are three types of fast charging plugs in the United States right now. One is the CHAdeMO, which means charge to move. Another is the CCS, which is the combined charging system. And then the third is Tesla's North American charging standard. And the Tesla North American charging standard has a far better user experience, and the plug has far better ergonomics. The CHAdeMO is currently being phased out, and I think the CCS should be phased out as well. The weight of the CHAdeMO and CCS plugs and associated cords is a non-trivial pain point, and addressing this would result in a major improvement to the user experience associated with charging an electric vehicle. The North American charging standard is significantly more ergonomic. It's got a lighter handle, it's got a lighter cord associated with it. The cord is thinner, it's easier to maneuver, and because of this, that creates a better user experience when charging an electric vehicle. Second thing I want to talk about is the costs and materials associated with these fast chargers. The cost of a Tesla fast charger is significantly less than the cost of fast chargers of the other networks that carry CCS and CHAdeMO charging plugs. With regards to materials, Tesla's North American charging standard cord is far thinner than the other two, which translates to a more sustainable option as there are less materials used. The last thing I want to talk about is the implications of this conversation on federal government spending on a national charging network. Pretend for a second that the federal government doesn't make a decision on any particular plug to be used, and so the charging networks simply roll out multiple plugs across the country. That means that 500,000 charging stations are going to have multiple plugs with multiple cords with varying user experiences. This means on a per charging station basis, we're using more materials, we're spending more money, we're taking more time to deploy this national charging network, and we're using taxpayer dollars less efficiently. If the federal government were to decide to use a single charging standard, a single plug, in their rollout of 500,000 electric vehicle chargers, this would represent a major efficiency, better user experience, lower costs, less materials used, ultimately a better solution. I want to know if this makes sense. So what do you think? Does one plug make sense? And should the federal government be spending on charging stations that have multiple plug types, or just focus on one and save a ton of money, a ton of materials, and a ton of time? Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.